Hey yo, what it do, baby? It's your boy Dynamic, and today I'm bringing you some COD Ghost gameplay commentary. And I made a video a couple days ago called "Do Games Still Capture Your Imagination?" and that got me to thinking about what game would I make. Like, if I had all the money necessary to make a game, and I had a good company, like a good group of guys that can create my thoughts and take to fruition my dreams and what I would want this game to be like. Now, first of all, I think it would have to be a multiplayer game. The reason is that I don't play that many single player games, and I would like to cater to the multiplayer, hardcore kind of individual, someone who prizes themselves as a player that wants a game to be fair and be not as random as possible. Now, the thing is, if a game isn't random, it becomes kind of predictable. So it would have to be a little random, but not to the point where something would be so random that it would just mess the whole thing up and would become completely unskill based. Like, I want the game to be skill based. I want the movement to take skill, and I want there to be agility in what you do and agility in the shooting, because it would be a shooter most likely. The thing that changes this whole thing, though, that doesn't make it into a regular shooter, is the fact that the game is going to have aspects that are kind of mythical. It's going to have different characters that have different abilities and different strong points and weaknesses. It's going to have technology and mystical powers type of thing. Now, for those of you who have played an older game called Shadowrun, you might be like, well, this is exactly like Shadowrun. Well, since that's like one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time, then of course I'm going to take some elements from that game, but I want to create a better game than that if I had the chance, right? So you guys might go in a totally different direction, but just like one of my subscribers said the other day, HJL21, I'm sorry if I didn't say your name correctly or whatever. Some games catch my imagination, but not many anymore because they are too real and not as fun. I remember when all I used to play was GTA San Andreas, and I loved it, and I get bored playing GTA 5. And the funny thing is that this guy is right. This guy is right, and the reason that I say that he's right is because since gaming companies have all this power now, they have pretty much dedicated themselves to make really realistic games. And at first, it was like a novelty because it couldn't be done before. Call of Duty was like the first game that kind of resembled real-life war. When it came out, people were like, oh my god, it's so realistic. Yeah, then Battlefield came out, and then it took that to the next level, and people now think that COD is so fake. But at one time, people used to think that COD was very realistic. So a whole bunch of games came out with this strategy of making games realistic, and they kind of forgot. The developers kind of forgot about the origin of games. Games are there to put you in a universe that's not even possible or very unlikely, and they don't do that anymore. And I think games, it could be anything. Imagine a banana with a wing attached to it or something, and he has like a rocket, and like, games shouldn't be bound by realism. They should be bound by your imagination. Realism is just one aspect of gaming, and I think that a lot of developers need to get off the realism high horse. And the game can still have pretty graphics. It just doesn't have to be on planet Earth. Do something else, man. Make some, who knows, make the next game, make the next great game on the surface of the planet Titan or something. Who knows? I think gaming companies have kind of been shackled by how much money it takes nowadays to create a game. We're talking millions upon millions of dollars. I understand from their point of view, making a game that's realistic is kind of like a safe bet, kind of, right? Like, that's what's selling right now. So since that's what's selling, since Call of Duty is what's selling, since Battlefield is selling, then even though they're not creating a first-person shooter, they're still trying to create games that are as realistic as those games, like simulations and stuff like that. Simulations of real freaking life. And as you can see, Nintendo's been making a killing off their games, and their games are not even realistic. And I'm not talking about just making Nintendo games. And I know the Nintendo Wii U is not doing so good, but their games are doing good, considering the amount of consoles, the amount of Wii U's that they have sold. And I think that's because Nintendo has creativity, right? But I think other companies need to step up too and create things. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. And if you have the money and the resources and all the capabilities of creating a game, what game would you create? How would your game be? Anyways, my time is up. So peace out, players. Oh my game.
14 25, bro? Could you not get out of your spawn and get even